What if boundaries weren't about keeping people out, but about letting you back in? For most of my life, I believed that being nice was the key to being loved. I said yes when I wanted to say no. I stayed quiet when I wanted to speak up. And I stretched myself thin trying to make everyone else comfortable, even if that meant breaking myself in the process. At first, it looked like kindness. People called me dependable, compassionate, even strong. But underneath it all, I was exhausted. And it wasn't just physical exhaustion, or it was emotional emptiness. I thought saying yes all the time kept me connected to others, but all it really did was disconnect me from myself. It took one moment of burnout, complete emotional collapse, for me to realize I wasn't being kind. I was being afraid. Afraid of being seen as selfish. Afraid of being left behind. Afraid that if I stopped giving, no one would stay. When I finally slowed down enough to listen, I heard something inside me whisper, "You're giving too much because you're afraid of not being enough." That hit me hard. My people pleasing wasn't love, it was survival. Every time I said yes when I wanted to say no, I built another invisible wall between who I was and who I wanted to be. And here's the irony: I thought I was avoiding rejection, but what I was really rejecting was myself. Setting boundaries used to feel like pushing people away. But the truth is, boundaries don't separate us from others, they reconnect us to ourselves. When I began to heal, I didn't start with big dramatic changes. I started small. I need to think about it. I'm not available right now. Or simply no. Those three words, "I need rest," became my quiet revolution. At first, it felt uncomfortable. The guilt crept in, that familiar feeling that I was disappointing someone. But over time, I realized guilt is just the echo of an old identity dying. It's the sound of your old self releasing the need to be everything for everyone. And you know what happened next? Peace. Real calm, grounded peace. Not the peace that comes from avoiding conflict, but the peace that comes from living in truth. Once I began honoring my boundaries, something powerful happened. My relationships changed. Some people pulled away, and yes, that hurt. But others, the ones who truly cared about me, drew closer. Because boundaries don't destroy love, they refine it. When I started saying no, I didn't lose love, I gained respect. Boundaries aren't about distance, they're about definition. They define where love can safely flow and where it begins to leak away. So now when I say no, I don't feel guilty. Because my no is just another way of saying yes. Yes to peace, yes to authenticity, yes to me. Let's take a moment together.